Hi, friends. It's Matt Raftery with vlog post number 7. I think this is going to go a little bit long today because I have a special story to share with you. Today is May 6th, 2015, and today marks 8 months since Bernie was killed. I had a whole different thought about what I wanted to tell you today based on my kind of crazy day running around, but one part of it actually resonated with me and like sparked this memory, and I wanted to share with you. I went to my Aunt Carol's wake today, and I'm getting ready to sing her funeral mass tomorrow morning. But and oh God, she's just I just love her so much, and she will be missed so greatly. But I went to the wake, and it just happened to be at the funeral home that we had Bernie's private family funeral mass at a few days, like 5 days after he died. And a lot of it was kind of figured out by his parents and sisters. But because I knew there was very little that I was probably going to be able to participate in emotionally. But I wanted to do one thing, and I wanted to read this part of Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss, because Bernie had played Horton a few times, and the first time I saw him do it, every time I saw him do it, I bawled like a child. It was so beautiful. It was Seussical the Musical, and he played Horton. I got the chance to do it with him once, but I wanted to bring the kids up, all his nieces and nephews, and read this little thing from Horton Hears a Who, which I want to read to you. And I don't know that I can't sing a little bit of it because I've done the musical, and it's a great musical, Seussical, if you ever want to check it out. But it goes like this. On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when Horton the elephant heard a small noise. So Horton stopped splashing. He looked toward the sound. That's funny, said Horton. There's no one around. Then he heard it again, just a very faint yelp, as if some tiny person were calling for help. I'll help you, said Horton, but who are you and where? He looked and he looked. He could see nothing there but a small speck of dust blowing past through the air. I say, murmured Horton, I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that is able to yell. So you know what I think? Why, I think that there must be someone on top of that small speck of dust, some sort of creature of very small size, too small to be seen by an elephant's eyes. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that he'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him, because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. So I read that and cried, and then I was able to be in the room with Bernie's urn, his ashes, alone by myself. His urn that sits on my piano right now as we speak. And I knelt at the kneeler and cried. I was going to say cried like a child, but it wasn't like a child. It was definitely as a full-grown adult. And I know the difference now, and I'm sure many of you do too. And I was asking him, imploring him to give me a sign that he was okay, and that I was too confused and too shocked and too grief-addled to really see the signs, that I needed it to be big and I needed it to be clear. And would he please do that for me? And we came home, the families came home to a number of friends, to a little celebration here in my house, our house. And my sister Anne and my sister-in-law Renee, Bernie's sister, had this beautiful idea of, especially for the kids, but for everyone, there were, I don't know how many, big red heart-shaped mylar balloons that everyone wrote a note on to send to to Bernie. And they were paper hole punched and attached with strings. And at one point in the late afternoon, early evening, the entire group went out into the backyard and launched off these balloons with a "We love you, Bernie," with all the messages attached. And these balloons, we stood there and watched until they sailed until we couldn't see them anymore, heading east over Lake Michigan. And it was a beautiful moment. And then we continued to drink and eat and celebrate the beautiful life that he was for the rest of the night. The next morning I got up and got the girls into the car, the dogs, my two dogs, whom I call the girls. And my friend Christine was with me, who was in from Los Angeles, who stayed with me for 2 weeks after Bernie died, doing so many things. I had so many friends, but it was who were doing incredible things. But that was a beautiful gift. And she went with me on the walk, and we got to the park where I always take the girls, and it was packed. There was like a cross-country meet going on, and so I had to drive like 3 blocks down through the parking lot, and that was far away from where I normally parked and walked the girls. And so got all the way down, found a spot, walking in a totally different area of the park than I ever did normally with Christine. And out of the car, not 2 minutes, and Christine says, "Matt, look." And I look in the mud, because we had had a big rainstorm the night before, was this shiny red piece of something covered in mud. And I went over and I picked it up, and had a message attached to it, but the message had been washed out by the rain. You couldn't read it. You didn't know whose it was, which was kind of beautiful in its own right. And I unfolded this thing, and not one single bit of mud stuck to it, but right in the middle of the heart-shaped balloon was a clover. And it was just attached right to the middle. And that clover stayed there for weeks. I brought that balloon home, and it sat next to his urn on the piano for weeks, and that clover just stuck there like it was glued. I had my sign. It was a big one, letting me know he was okay, and that he was knowing what I was doing and how I was relating to him. And I guess I'm bringing this up because I want you all to experience your own signs. And maybe it's for someone who is lost, that you've lost, or maybe it's just, maybe it's a job, or it's family, or it's children, or it's just a question you have on your mind and you're looking for the answer. And I want you to try to open yourself up, pray about it, ask about it. Maybe it's God, maybe it's the trees, maybe it's nature, maybe it's wherever you find the answers to your questions. Go there. Ask the questions, because it may not come right away. I've certainly asked many for many signs along the way and haven't gotten them as clearly as that one, but I did get that one. It was intense and it was much needed at the time, but I believe that the signs are there. I believe that we can see them and choose to acknowledge, or choose to see them as coincidence in our lives. Or we can choose to accept them and embrace them and let them lift us up. So that's what I want for you. Ask for the signs. Keep asking for the signs. You will find them. You will get them. You deserve them. And I believe that they're there. They're waiting for you. So that's all I got. I know it was a long message. Thanks for hanging on with me. Sending you all lots of love. I love and believe in you all. And Bernie. And let's keep open to the signs. Till next time.